mindset ready, building dreams steady with your buddy Visey.
Very warm evening to one and all. Thank you so much for joining in today. I'm your host for the day, and we have our speaker in the call already. Welcome, Miss Aakanksha ji. And not without further ado, let us start with our session. And let me quickly introduce our speaker for the day, our consultant, our expert. Yeah, hi, Aakanksha ji.
Hi.
You. Yes. So, about Miss Aakanksha. Aakanksha is a growth and brand strategist with hands-on experience in scaling consumer businesses across D2C, marketplaces, and digital-first ecosystems. She has worked extensively in the food and wellness space, leading GTM strategy, category launches, brand growth, and online revenue expansion. She played a key role in scaling online channels at Anand Sweets, where she led successful gifting and category innovations that significantly contributed to revenue growth. She is also the founder of Kenku by Baltic Foods, a wellness-focused functional food brand building at the intersection of clean nutrition, consumer trust, and technology-led personalization. Through her work, Aakanksha focuses on helping startups and consumer brands simplify growth, sharpen positioning, understand consumer behavior, and build sustainable marketing systems beyond vanity metrics. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much for this session. We are very excited, and I'm sure all of our attendees are also very excited. Yes. So, Aakanksha ji, over to you. Today's session will be a short presentation followed by an AMA, where each person can get 5 minutes to ask their business-related specific questions and get the advice from Ms. Aakanksha. Aakanksha ji, most welcome. Over to you.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to the lovely evening where we are gonna not only just talk about GTM or how your brand is doing, but also discuss your key points, understand what are the do's, don'ts, and how to take ahead this journey. So my name is Aakanksha, and thank you, Ridhima, for a very lovely and warm welcome. I'm a growth and brand specialist, apart from founder for Kenko, and I have spent 10 years helping consumer brands figure out how to grow without losing.
Uh, can you all hear
Their minds
Aakanksha ji
or their
properly, or is there a lag?
so tonight it's
No,
lecture. Going to talk.
properly.
Your internet, your voice got stuck. We were not able to hear you properly.
Okay. Is it fine now?
Maybe you can switch off your video. Maybe you can switch off your video for better audio quality. Yeah. So meanwhile, I would set the agenda for today's meeting. Yeah, Aakanksha ji. Yes, you can speak a bit louder. Otherwise, it's better now. Yes, we can start.
Sure. Okay.
Yes.
So, tonight is not going to be just so we have got about 10 to 10 minutes of time where some experiences and students which is the time and where we to question problems types and so you can expect a lot of good stuff from me and start that. Am I clear or am I audible properly?
Yeah, there is some problem with your internet, I believe. Voice is breaking a little bit.
Okay, I'll just try to have it better. So, shall I continue?
Yeah, it is better now. Please continue.
Okay, great. So, already Ridhima has introduced me, but I'll just give you a quick 30 seconds, recap about what I do, where I come from. So, as I mentioned, I've worked uh, across 10 years and multiple categories: food, wellness, skincare, FMCG. The through line has always been the same. How do you build growth that actually sticks? One thing I'm particularly proud of is that at Anand Sweets, we took a fresh sweets into e-commerce, and at a time when there was no brands apart from Son Papris and Team available. So we have put our Mysore Parks into Dharwad Pedas into the Blinkits of the world and Instamart. And that vertical is now leading category on every quick commerce platform. And we didn't join the category; we made one. And this is what I'm going to assist you with. Okay, so also I have mentioned my QR code in case if you guys want to join me after this session. You can connect with me over my LinkedIn. Great. So before we start, or I talk about GTM and strategies, I want to know in this room uh, who's in this room, and I'm going to read out four options. Show your hands and be honest, and we all are in the same journey. So let's see for option one, how many people are there that they can relate to. You are spending on ads, but CAC keeps climbing, and you cannot figure out why.
Okay, I believe uh, there is really nobody who feels that way, or maybe nobody has
We'll
shown
move
their.
to the option. Yeah,
Okay,
we'll move
let's move.
to the option B. Yeah. Customers buy once, usually with a discount, and then they disappear. So, do we have somebody who can relate to the option B? Okay, we have one. Cool. So, if somebody can relate to option C, that your category is crowded, and if you're honest, you sound like everyone else. Okay, I can see one hand over here. And if somebody can relate to option D, that revenue is growing but margins are shrinking, discounts are eating you.
Nobody, nobody.
Okay, so I think the major challenge that people today in this session are facing about wo- retention, as well as being similar to the competitors. So that is what we are going to discuss today, and let's move ahead. So here's the thing about GTM strategy that no one will tell you. It's not a marketing plan, okay? It's not a channel strategy. It's not just a launch checklist. It's just a system where five parts are connected. And the reason most brands struggle isn't that they're doing one thing wrong. It's that they're treating these five things as a separate problem when they're actually one engine. Brand positioning.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you? who your customers are, who you serve. Pricing strategy is what you charge and what's that signals. Sales channels are where you meet your customer, and the retention engine is how you bring them back. Get one wrong and the rest breaks. You can't fix retention if your positioning is attracting the wrong customer. You can't price well if you don't know your persona. You can't scale channels if you haven't built a retention engine. We are going to go through each one in this order so you can stay connected.
Sure.
So let's start with brand positioning. And I want to ask you something. If you replace your brand with a competitor's on your homepage right now, would it still make sense? A raise of hands would work for me.
Akansha ji, can you repeat your question?
Sure. So my question is that if you replace your brand name with a competitor's name on your homepage, would it still make sense? And if you don't want to answer that, and if you know deep down inside that the answer is yes, then you don't have a positioning. That means you have a category description. What we call today as premium, natural, authentic, that's not a position. That's what every third brand on Nykaa or on Amazon says. That's a Google headline, not a brand positioning. So if you look at Sleepy Owl as an example, they didn't say that they have good coffee or premium coffee. They said cold brew. That's all, and they own that word before anyone else in India even thought to claim it. The category and the brand became the same thing. That's positioning. The test is simple. Does your positioning make your ideal customer say finally, this is for me, and make everyone else feel okay about being excluded? If it speaks to everyone, it speaks to no one. And I want you guys to let that sink in, please.
Mhm. Yes, Akansha.
So let's talk about some of the case studies. Let me show you what it actually looks like to create a position, not find one. So as I had mentioned into my intro as well, that when we went on to quick commerce at Anand Sweets, the entire sweets category on quick commerce was packaged commodity, whether son papdis or canned gulab jamuns or canned rasgullas, things that could sit on shelves for years. But we decided to do something differently. We put fresh Mysore Parks, fresh Dharwad Peda, fresh Motichur Laddu on Blinkit, on Instamart, and Zepto. Things that you would buy after walking into a shop was delivered to you in 10 seconds. The positioning was simple. On, s- on other hand, if I have to talk about the marketplaces, so on Amazon, we did something similar with the gifting. Sweets gifting online meant a tin box of, I don't want to name the brand, but a tin box which will have multiple assortments with a ribbon on it. But what we did differently is that we built plush royal packaging, the kind of people in Chennai or Bangalore couldn't find locally. As well, not only that, but as well as people who are living into the tier 2 cities as well. And the diaspora couldn't find at all when they wanted to send something that they felt like home. So, gifting with this. our gifting category went from 0 to 70% of our online revenue. Not because we spent any outspent any more. Because we saw a gap everyone else had walked past. If I have to talk about the other, case study, let's take for example, Heads Up for Tails. They did the same thing in pet care. Everyone was selling pet accessories. They said, we are for people who treat their pets like family. That one shift changed everything. Products, prices, community, content, everything.
Yes, got it.
Now let's talk about the customer personas. And I want to call out something. Most D2C brands have a persona that something like urban, health conscious, uses Instagram. And to be very honest, every brand has Priya, and she changes nothing. A real persona changes a decision. Today, this week, if we talk about, who's going to buy your product, it not only tells you what SKU to build, what price to set, which channel to use, and what packaging should say. At Anand Sweets, our highest LTV personas wasn't the individual buyer. It was a corporate gifting manager, somebody who's placing thousands of units of orders for Diwali. Someone who needs an invoice, or someone who cares more about the packaging than taste, because it's a work gift, not a personal one. That persona changed everything. How we priced bulk orders, how our what were our fulfillment SLAs. It opened up a B2B channel we didn't even thought about. And similarly, if I talk about Yoga Bar, they did this well too. They didn't target health conscious Indians. They targeted gym goers who needed a clean snack between meals and were tired of protein bars that tasted like chalk. Specific situation, specific frustration, and specific fix. I can see a raise of hands.
Yes. So, Akansha ji, I can suggest one thing that let's do a live exercise with our audience who are here. I'm sure many of them will have a persona in mind, and if you can show a live example that how it's different, how it can be framed differently, so it would be very
Sure,
interesting.
sure,
If
we
anyone
can do
wants
the
to
exercise.
share their persona, and let's all or let's Akansha ji help you reframe it or write it in a better way that helps you target better and take the decision. So please come forward.
Can I go ahead?
I can see Amit.
Yes. Hi.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
Amit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Thank you, Aakanksha ji. So I have a ghee. I have a ghee, and
Hmm.
this is a desi cow ghee, Bilona ghee. We made it the traditional way. The difference is that when the entire process, the goshala, the making of the ghee, the entire process, we have a 24 hours, 7 days a week yajna going on with Vedic chanting.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
a- yes, and this is sanctified and purified through the process of Vedic chanting uh, from the seed to the table. Everything is pure,
Hmm.
grass fed, and done the Vedic way. So it's a premium ghee, like 1 kg is 4,000 rupees. Uh, the
Okay.
position, the positioning which we have thought of is a Vedic ghee, because
Okay.
Vedic
Understood.
is that clear enough for the audience?
Yes, yes, yes.
So, Amit, let me ask you a few questions. And while we are doing this Q&A exercise, I think uh, you would be the one giving me this answer. Okay.
Sure.
So now, when we say Vedic ghee, who do you see buying this product?
So I have in my mind a premium clientele who is health conscious and health conscious because it's pure ghee, uh, and is able to afford. So the salary in mind which I have is household income of, let's say, around 2.5 lakh rupees above per month, and
Hmm.
uh, it's so that spending around 4,000 rupees per month on ghee, because everything is made in ghee. So we these people don't generally use oil, and they also are aware that this is this ghee is called grit in
So,
Sanskrit. It's the Ayurvedic aushadhi, actually, which
mhm.
it has medicinal value. So like it negates the effects of cancer. Like somebody, if somebody has sinus, you can put a few drops of this ghee in each of the nostrils, then your sinus will get cured when you sleep in the night. Just warm it up a bit and put a couple of drops in
So
each of the nostrils.
Amit, I'll break you over here.
Sure, sure,
Okay.
sure. Please, please.
Uh,
Yes, please.
yeah. So let's see. Okay. What we are going to do is we will be creating a persona for your product. Okay.
Okay,
Now,
yes,
first,
please.
let's understand when you say that you want somebody who is health conscious buying this ghee. Okay. Now we
Yes,
have, for example, okay, we have two types of ghee. One is a regular Bilona ghee, and
yes,
then there is, Vedic Bilona ghee. Why
yes.
would somebody choose a Vedic Bilona ghee? When they are not sure different.
They are not sure, ma'am. What they are not sure?
That they are what is the difference between two?
Acha, the difference is that we make the process of making the ghee is Vedic, as per the Shastras, as
Correct.
per
So
the.
now what happens is that now that people who understands Vedic procedure, who respects that segment, who has
Yes,
curiosity to learn about that, has to have a has to be a part of your persona.
yes,
Correct. So
yes,
let's define, certain parameters over here, which would be your age, location, occupation, income range, family status, lifestyle. Okay, so these are the basic things what we choose to create a persona. So persona is somebody like, you say, "Ki, okay, I have a customer, Aakanksha, who is a marketer, who has her own brand, believes into health conscious cooking, and lives with family, earns, for example, say 20 lakh rupees a month, uh, you know and stays in a tier 1 city, and she buys this because she has maybe she has uh, you know people in home who are frequently getting sick, or they want to be healthy, or she wants to make her parents feel healthier again. So these are the things which defines the person. Okay.
yes.
uh, Try to build this kind of who will buy the product. Your marketing game will be changed with that.
Okay, ma'am. Uh, ma'am, this is a lady of the house who has got uh, the the health, who's got the what who's very conscious about what she wants to feed her family and herself,
Hmm.
uh, because
Correct.
we are taking. Hmm?
Correct, correct. Yes, go on.
Okay, so now the question which I have in this is, what is the positioning which we have? I'll explain my question. So this lady of the house, who wants to make a conscious decision what she wants to feed her family and herself, what is the decision making criteria based on which she will decide what to buy? Because that I want to be our positioning, because I want our positioning to trigger her behavior.
Correct. So now, Amit, I'm going to do one thing. We are going to circle back to this question again.
Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
because I think we have to give time to other people as
Sure,
well. So,
please.
and
Yes, please. Kindly.
this
Yes,
is
yes.
gonna take some time. I've
Sure,
noted
ma'am.
your question, and we'll circle back this in the
Grateful. Grateful.
the
Sure, ma'am.
open Q&A.
Sure,
Uh,
sure,
Yes,
please.
yes.
Thank you.
So I think that
Ridhima,
was a
I
great
think
example.
there are some messages.
And Kansha ji, we can continue with the presentation.
Sure. Ridhima, before I move ahead, I wanted to answer this one question asked by Sanjoli. Is there a difference between yoga bar or protein bar? Okay. I want to take this up quickly is that let's try to understand yoga bar is a company. What they are creating is a protein bar. And this is what I have spoken about in my last two slides that when you create a category that is a protein bar, you have to be known with that name. And that is why this question has came that whether it is yoga bar or protein bar, is it the what is the difference?
Got it. Got it.
Sorry, ma'am.
So now let's move to the pricing strategy. Pricing. This is the one nobody talks about, honestly. But here's the truth. Your price is not a number. It's a statement about your brand. Every time you discount, you're telling your customer, I wasn't worth what I charged you before. Wait a long enough and you will get a better deal. And they will wait every time until you discount in the next season. And this will keep on only shrinking your revenue. And that's a trap. So, for example, if we talk about Bombay Shaving Company, they built their brand in a category that was constantly running promotions. They held prices. They doubled down on the ritual, shaving as a self care, not as a core. The price became proof of the promise. Even if I talk about, how we worked on to gifting at Anand Sweets, this was one of the most important insights. People buying a gift don't be either less expensive or not looking expensive. So there are two things. One is price and there is the packaging. They want to feel proud of what they are sending. A 1,000 rupees box communicates something that looks like 500 rupees box cannot justify it. And that is what the price was about the product. So protect your price point. If you want to bring someone in, give them more product, a sample, a bundle, a trial size, but never a discount. Because once you drop it, you almost never bring it back up.
Got it.
Now
Yes.
moving on to the sales channel part. And I keep on hearing this question constantly. Should I focus on D2C or should I focus on Amazon or should I focus on quick commerce? And my answer is always the same that the question is itself wrong. The right question is what job is each channel doing? And are you using it for that job or you're using it as a crutch? Your own site gives you data and LTV. Marketplaces gives you discovery. Quick commerce gives you impulse trial and reach. WhatsApp gives you repeat. So, for example, at Anand Sweets, Amazon was gifting discovery. Blinkit was for fresh sweets trial. People picking up a box of Mysore Pak on impulse, something they would never thought of buying online before. So repeat orders. Every channel had to do one job. That's the discipline. And then if we talk about Yoga Bar, is again Yoga Bar is a great sequencing story. D2C first to prove demand and gather data, then modern trade to scale. To acquire, but then they got acquired by ITC because the D2C data made that case. The channels were not random, each one built proof for the next. And the danger is that, and it is real, is when your 80% of revenue comes from one platform. The day that platform changes its algorithm, fees, or category rules, and they will sometime in sometime in future, you will have no cushion. And now let's talk about the last element, that is the retention, and in some ways the most important one. Your first order is the cost center, your second order is the business. Think about what it costs to acquire a new customer: CAC, ads, creative, time. Now think about what it costs to bring that customer back who has already bought from you. Fractions of that. The window is 30 days. That's where you either win the second purchase or you lose that customer possibly forever. And most brands go completely silent in that window. The order ships, the tracking or email goes out, and then nothing. No follow up, no recommendation, no relationship. The highest ROI retention level is not loyalty points, it's not discount image, it's the post purchase flow. What happens in these days right after someone buys from you? For example, if I talk about Wow Skin Science, they build their repeat engine on WhatsApp. Personalized recommendation based on what you actually bought, not generic blast. Subscription bundles tied to routine, not the price. They made retention feel like a service and not marketing. So if your repeat purchase rate in month 3 is under 20%, you need to stop scaling acquisition, first fix retention, because you're feeling a leaking bucket that has to be sealed. And now just summing up over here, here is the complete GTM map. Positioning tells you customer who your customer is. Persona tells you exactly who you are talking to. Pricing signals your value and filters the right buyers. Channels get you in front of them where they are. Retention brings them back. The most common failure mode I see at every stage is brand scaling channels before they have fixed the positioning. You can't spend 10 lakhs a month on Meta, but if your positioning is generic and your persona is wrong, you're paying to acquire customers you can't keep. This applies whether you sell coffee, pet food, skincare, snacks, ghee, saris, or whatever. The system stays the same. The inputs are yours. Okay, so that's all from my side. And now I would be on the other side listening to your real problems, and let's have a discussion about it.
Okay, so everyone, you can raise your hands, and one by one, we will be taking up the questions. So Sneha has raised a hand. So we will also take up Mr. Amit's question. So we
Yes.
can start with Sneha. Sneha, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. You have 5 minutes to discuss.
Right. Hi, Aakanksha. I'm Sneha, and I'm from a company called Patam. We're a regional Indian snack brand, somewhere floating
Okay.
in premium in terms of pricing. Right. I have two questions. First one was I raised my hand on buying once and not coming back, the repeat rate
Correct.
functionality of things. So, because we're a lumki, we're selling about most of our sale happens through quick commerce. What should be the
Mhm.
repeat rate? Because right now on Blinkit, we're getting about 12 to 13%, but we do not have any data on the internet to clarify what it should be for a similar industry. Since you worked in sweets, I think there can be some commonalities. So I wanted to get your take on that.
Okay. So, which all platforms you are available on?
So for Blinkit, we're available pan India. We've chosen some cities and rejected some based on the sales that we've received. We're on Instamart in Bangalore. We're onboarding on
Mhm.
Zepto right now, and we're on First Club in Bangalore.
Okay. And you also have your own website, e-marketplaces like
Yes.
Amazon or okay. And how is your retention over there?
So on our website, we're doing about 18 to 20%.
Okay.
Yeah, but since most sales that we see generates through quick commerce, right now for us it was Blinkit. And for the
Mhm.
year closing this year, when I calculated, it was about 13% there.
Okay.
And we've been live since August of 2025. So it's not been a very long time. That is why I wanted to get an idea on what it should
Mhm.
be.
See, if I have to talk about the average retention, it is roughly between 18 to 25%.
All
Okay.
right.
If I have to talk about the Haldirams of the world, then it would be, more than 40% per se. But that is something which, is a 50, 60 years of legacy.
Right.
So for a newer brand, a close to newer brand which is not very well known to the audiences, 18 to 25% is considered as average.
So does budget on advertisement for on Blinkit and Swiggy, does that matter a lot in terms of repeat rate if I'm that young of a company?
Um, See, I'm going to be very candid over here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, before we move to the spends and ads.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk more about, do the customers know us as a
So,
brand? The customer should know us where we are selling in that area. So, for example, if you're selling your products in Bangalore, how
mhm.
much percent of Bangalore customers know the brand?
Right,
Okay.
agreed. So
So
again,
my point is that if,
mhm,
and I'm not talking about that they know you via ad, because
right,
Blinkit or any of the quick commerce platform is an impulse buying platform. You go
exactly.
to the platform, you buy the product because you know, ki, okay, I'm craving for, maybe ice cream. And I like only, Baskin Robbins ice cream. I'll search Baskin Robbins and I'll purchase that. But
Agreed.
I'm not going to be a browser over there, which I would be, maybe on Amazon. So if we need to understand how the consumer behavior happens on each of the platform.
Agreed.
If I have to buy, and I'm not denying the fact that the ads doesn't matter, but my point is that first we need to build a audience which knows, okay, this brand exists in Blinkit, and I have to buy this. That
And
impulse should come that okay, I'm craving for maybe a bhujia, or a
agreed.
millet snack, and I want to go and buy this brand from Blinkit. So that
How can
impulse
that
has to come from the customer.
how can that be done?
So focus growing your D2C, focus growing your discovery on your e-marketplaces. Blinkit will eventually happen because people these days need everything in 10 minutes.
Agreed.
Once a customer on your website or on your marketplace craves for this, will definitely go on Blinkit and check.
Agreed. So you mentioned when you talked about retention engine, you mentioned 30
Yeah,
days
just
time
keep
period.
it short. After this, we'll be taking the next one. Yes.
Can
Yeah,
I
you
get
can
another
continue.
minute? Perfect. So you mentioned retention engine and you said you have 30 days window, right? You mentioned
Correct.
multiple options like WhatsApp retention flow, but if somebody has 30 days, how should
Hmm.
one go about it and how that should be divided is what I wanted to understand.
Correct. So what we will do, Sneha, this is again a very detailed topic. We can discuss this, completely offline. But I'll give you a gist about how the retention flow works. Okay.
Right.
So, uh, okay. So if we have to talk about that, somebody comes and buys a namkeen. Okay.
Right.
What is your namkeen size?
It's
How much
150
time?
gram.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. So you're going about that. Right. Right. Go
Huh.
for it.
Yeah. So one, for example, 200 grams.
Right.
So in 200 grams, what is your serving size?
Okay.
Okay. Maybe, you suggest that, okay, 10 grams is what you consume in a day. And I'm giving a very arbitrary example over there.
Mm.
So you say that, okay, 200 grams I'm giving to this customer. 10 grams per day, is the serving which I recommend to the customer. That means in 20 days, the customer will be out of my product.
Got it. Yes.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the customer is going to get, the product over on the 20th day, you need to remind to that customer that they have to order at
Right.
least a week prior because they will order, you will ship, it will get delivered, and they will start consuming.
Right.
Right. So your flow starts from the day the order is delivered. You ask them if they like the product, if they don't like, what they didn't like, if they like, what they liked. If they liked, refer it to your friends. On your next order, we will give you something.
Okay.
Keep the flow going. So every communication, keep a gap of 3 to 4 days so that users are not overwhelmed. And
Okay.
on the -7 day, send them a notification saying that, your stock is gonna get over. You buy this as well, and you have liked this, try the another product. This we recommend to you. Try to upsell
Yeah.
over. And that is how you bring the retention.
So you're going after 10, so after delivered, liked it or not, refer it to friends, you're going
Yeah.
after 10 days if the serving size is 10 grams, 20 grams as you that you mentioned.
I'm just
You're
giving you
going
an example. Yeah.
right, right.
So
Yeah,
it would
again.
now depend
Yes.
on what your sizes are, what, how
I
people
understood.
consume.
Yeah, based on the example. So you're saying every 3 to 4 days they should be reminded.
They should be reminded in a very softer way, not with the, hard sale product things. But you may talk, them enough, you know what product they like. Talk about the facts of the product, how much they can consume, how they can consume. Give them incentives to share with friends. And there is a whole lot of world that you can communicate to your customer apart from direct upselling of the products.
Perfect.
Give
Thank you.
them the value of the product so that they
Uh-huh.
come back again.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Akansha. That was very helpful. We can move to our next question, which is by Mr. Amit. Mr. Amit, you have
Yes, yes,
2 to 5 minutes.
yes.
Please take up your
Thank
question
you.
now. And rest, please raise your hand so that we can take your question next.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the question about positioning, the
Hmm.
step-by-step exercise. Now, uh, the ghee is 4,000 rupees at 1 kg, uh, and it is Vedic Bilona ghee. Now,
Okay.
what do I position myself as? Because once I position myself, then I can define the persona also. The pricing is I'm keeping it fixed because I want to recover the cost because it's very heavy, the process in itself.
Correct. Correct.
So yes. So can you please? So it is not premiumization because I want to position myself as premium. It is premiumization by default. So uh, now, what should the positioning statement be for me? The persona be for me thereafter?
So, Amit, I'm going to help you understand over here. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Positioning, first of all, positioning, you can change it whenever you want. It is your brand, your positioning, your customers.
Correct.
If you feel today that, this is my customer, after 6 months of being in the market, you feel like this is not the group I want to target. I want to target somebody else, and I'm want to not become a day-to-day ghee brand. I want to be a ritual specific brand, a purity basis brand. So
Yes.
this would be, this will keep on changing as and when you enter the market, you talk to more customers, understand their pain points. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if we have to talk about your today's positioning, where
Yes,
you
ma'am.
want people to use it on a day-to-day basis,
Yes, ma'am.
correct?
Yes.
So one thing we need to understand is that when we want customers to use this on a day-to-day basis,
Yes.
considering it is a Indian market, okay,
Yes.
one thing is that if you premiumize any of the product, it
Yes.
becomes a luxury good, and people are like, you know, they hesitate to use it on a regular basis.
Yes.
So, and I'm not saying that, 4,000 rupees a kg ghee is super premium,
Actually,
because
my my,
there are
my
brands like,
yes,
U Brothers and all who are selling at the similar cost.
ma'am. Actually,
So,
my cost of making the ghee is 3,800 rupees. So 1 kg of ghee requires
mhm,
32 kgs of milk to make 1 kg of ghee.
okay,
Over the process in itself, manufacturing 32 kgs with a wooden spoon in a clay pot
mhm,
over um, cow dung fire, slow flame. It is continuously stirred for 24 hours to make this ghee. So the
correct.
process,
So,
32 kgs is needed for 1 kg of ghee. So the process in itself is intense. So 3,800 rupees is my cost of.
correct. So Amit, you clearly understand that this is not a, you know, something which is made into the commercial market. This is something very personal to you, or very personal to, any of the consumer who is going to use it or is using it right now. So when we place the product, it should be in a way that, people should feel privileged, sacred, and happy to make this choice, to make a spend of 4,000 rupees. And I would be very open that try to position your brand which is affordable premium. It is just a change of word, a fancy word, I would say. But what happens is when you make a product stand out as affordable premium, people will not hesitate using it on a day-to-day basis. When it goes into a premium category, it becomes, a uber rich uh, segment product. So, considering the Indian audiences, try to keep it more into the emotional side, that, the process of making the ghee rather than focusing on the price. And you will have your, nice positioning and, personas created for this.
Process
I
of
think
making the ghee rather than premium price.
The communication which you are going to use, or the
Yes.
positioning which you are going to do should revolve around your uh, process of making it, because nobody else is doing it, rather than the price.
Yes. Now,
So I think
uh,
Amitji also made a sale just now. You can say the name of your
Yes,
brand in
yes,
the
I saw.
comments. Somebody wants to know. And yeah, you can ask a question. After that, we'll move to the next person. Yes.
yes, ma'am. The question is next question. It's actually so. Like for example, I'll just give you an example. You gave an example of
Mhm.
sleepy owl. Sleepy owl position themselves with two words, and so that clear positioning is still what they are continuously maintaining throughout the lifetime of the brand, even till date. Now,
Mhm.
for me, uh, what is the uh, how do I okay, what is the positioning statement that I should use? Because I want to orient the brand, the team, the messaging, the channels, the customer, everything according to those words, which are the
Mhm.
trigger words.
Understood. So now, that's why I mentioned that you need to play around the emotions more. Emotions are triggered by how we make it, making it nostalgia, linking it to, maybe Ayurveda, to the ancient Indian households, how, the grandmothers or great grandmothers used to make the ghee, the purest form. So these are the key keywords which will help you bring that nostalgia of making a ghee a link to people's day-to-day lives. Okay, so for example, if I have to say a statement, okay, it could be, as for me, it could be for homes that treat food as medicines. And I
Yes.
think you have couple of messages in the group, here, who are
Okay.
trying to help you out with the uh,
So is it is
positioning.
actually so okay. I'll just check that. Ma'am, actually,
So I'm
uh,
so sorry, but I think Kancha ji, can you take this with Amit ji offline? Like, can you
Offline.
give him one session?
I'll Yeah, I'll give him a
Yeah,
session. We
I
can
think
discuss on this.
thank you, ma'am.
yeah. So that
Grateful, grateful.
Yeah.
please connect with Akanksha ji offline.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
she will be happy to answer. And
Sure,
let's
ma'am.
move
Uh,
to our questions
Thank
in
you.
the chat box. Yeah, yeah.
yes,
Which are firstly we have question from Miss Shweta Singh. So Shweta ji, would you like to ask a question in person?
Yeah, sure. So the question that I have is that I'm going to launch a nutraceutical brand. These are psychobiotics, which are basically probiotics which help you reduce stress and tackle it better. So we are planning to launch it as stress smart nutraceutical, but a couple of people have pointed out that there is negative connotation attached with stress. Can you make the statement more like focus first or something of that sort, which is confusing for me. That's why I wanted to seek a neutral opinion on that.
understood. So yes, I too agree that the notion around the notion around your stress or mental health in India is not that evolved, and people still think it in a negative way. So what I would also recommend is that you know, position it in a way where we talk about living stress free, rather than saying that, uh, stress smart, or, we can talk more about being calm, regulate your, day to day work or day to day thoughts. So there could be a lot of, other things which could be talked about, rather than talking about stress very directly. It could also be, perform under, perform better under stress. So there could be a lot of personas created where people have stress in work life, into their school life, and putting it in a positive way where we say that okay, you have work stress, let's put it in ease, have a better meetings, rather than saying that we help you reduce the stress. You can say have a confidence in your meetings, which could be down because you are tensed about it. So that is something which has to be done in a very a positive reinforcement, not a direct enforcement over here.
Okay, just a small counter question there. So, should we remove stress from the byline itself, like, or should we keep the conversation around the brand more like get away from stress and like use stress but like negate it? What should be the line of conversation?
So where do you want to use this line of conversation? Do you want to use it with your customers, with your current or prospective investors, with your internal team? So there are three of the categories. So where you want to use this?
This is the question is primarily towards the customers because we are still pre-launch and we are going to launch very
Mhm.
soon.
Understood. So for customers, let's talk more about making stress as a byline and focusing on to a healthier, happier side of it.
Okay, okay, got it. Thanks.
Also, Kanshaji, I think you can switch on your video now. Your voice is stable. And we would love to take our next question. If anyone has a question, you can raise your hand or you can put it in the chat box. So, Mr. Arnav. Uh, okay, so Mr. Arnav, so this is, can we take a question on software-based products, Akanksha ji, or is it specifically for, product-based businesses? We have something
We
for us.
can take we can take. That's okay.
Okay, so Arnav, you have a question, which is today we discussed about tangible products like ghee, yoga bar, etc. But what about software-based products? What is the difference of approach between physical soft products and software? So maybe some insight on that.
Okay. So now first you need to understand that who are the customers. Basically, if you see your physical product and your software has the same user, you have the same user, same persona of the person. For example, somebody who is going to buy Amit's Bilona ghee could be a buyer for your software as well. But now the communication changes because the product is different, because your approach and your value into their life is going to be a different. Whereas, if we say that the Bilona ghee they are using, that is their personal life, software they are going to use is for their work. So how you communicate to them about this software will add value to your life, would matter more. And at the end the consumer is same, the approach is going to be same, but your communication is something which is going to be different.
Got it. So any examples that you can share maybe for this one? Any real life
Sure.
examples?
So if we can, we'll say, for example, if we take Zoho as an example, okay.
Mhm.
So for years and years, SAP has been working with a lot of brands to develop their ERPs, their CRMs, and their invoicing and all. But the gap was what? The gap was that not a startup who has bare minimum funding available to buy a software which will streamline their day-to-day activities into the finance side or their supply chain side. So now Zoho comes into picture where they provide affordable invoicing system as well as supply chain systems. Now, that is the positioning. Today, Zoho sells to each and every SMEs in India. But if we see SAP sells it to only the niche categories in India, and which would be just few hundreds. But similarly, Zoho sells to lakhs of people only because the communication shows that it helps SMEs with what a big company can do at an
Got it.
affordable rate, and that is the approach or the communication which has to be done.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Great. 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 Understood. So I think that was a great explanation. I hope you got your answer. We will be moving on to the next question now. If anyone would like to take 5 minutes and discuss your question with the speaker Akansha ji, please do so. Please go ahead. Otherwise, we'll take one more question from our comment box. So, I think we can go with the comment box question. You can prepare your questions meanwhile. How to map the customer journey to find out the gaps and use those insights while making the GTM strategy.
Okay, so a customer journey is something which starts with discovery and goes up to being a loyal customer for your brand. Okay, now if I have to talk about there's a brand called Soul Store. They started off online.
Correct.
Okay, now what they did first, they attracted users who wanted nice graphic t-shirts, which were
Correct.
not available when they entered the market. Now they just started putting out content where people in their mid 20s and early 30s were flaunting the graphic t-shirts. They started creating the awareness, the intent, and then reaching to becoming a brand which is now available offline, online, across India. Correct. So now the gap, how we should find it. One is that what they did, they first figured out who the customer is. Somebody who loves cartoons, somebody, so that could be, a millennial who can spend, who loves to wear trendy things, who, goes to office on a day-to-day basis, so that they keep on shopping on a very frequent basis. And figuring out who your audience is, then creating the communication for them, creating the intent for those people, and then moving on to the acquiring of them. So now, when in my deck talked about a few things, which is your brand positioning, your personas, and your pricing, then your retention. So these things come together as your GTM map. Now, when we talk about communication, okay, we have done our consumer persona, we have done our targeting. Now, if we have to talk about communication, so where does the user, where do I find that user? If I'm a millennial who loves to spend, who works, who wears, who goes to work on a daily basis. So that means that you have to that user is available maybe on Instagram, maybe into other social medias like Twitter or LinkedIn. So start your communication on those platforms. Where do the users shop? That is your channel. So this user will be shopping from your Myntra, Amazon, or visiting the stores. So out of these three, where your user is available at the most, reach out to those platforms, onboard your product over there. Then move on to the pricing part. What is your COGS? What is the competitors selling it? And whether you want to be a discounted brand or whether you want to be a brand that sells on its quality. That is something you decide in your pricing strategy. And then you move on to the order where your product speaks for your all the efforts you have done. Once a user likes your product, one is that they will come back, but you have to remind them frequently that you loved us, you would need us in future. Come by, and these are the benefits. So in that way, you start working on to, creating the complete journey, understanding who your consumers are and how you can reach out to them so that they stay with you despite, a lot of competition doing the same thing around you.
Got it. Got it. So I think we definitely reiterated the entire initial presentation for those of you who might have missed it. It is a very, very, crisp and very helpful roadmap for the D2C brands. Now I would love to invite Jatin. Jatin, you posted a question. Would you like to be on mic? If you would like to be, please unmute
Yeah,
yourself. Sure,
so we are
please.
working on sure. We are working on a beverage brand, and it is a zero sugar
Mhm.
functional drink with added sparkling water. And I'm positioning it as a nightlife beverage for Gen Z, as an alternative to alcohol, basically. Means you can still have a aura of consuming something cool without damaging their health. So that's the idea. And
Understood.
the persona of the brand will also be around social culture. Now, where I'm stuck is I'm not sure about the channels I should choose, as it is going to be a little on the premium side. So, local
Mhm.
grocery, so I don't think so it will work. D2C is there, but I
Correct.
don't think so people will order from D2C for like a can or something. So, quick commerce, I'm still figuring out. So, can you suggest me some other channels or the strategy we can uh, do to expand it?
Sure.
Okay. So, sure. Jatin, tell me one thing. Where is your Gen Z crowd, available the most?
Mostly Instagram.
No, physically where they are available.
Okay, physically, yeah, colleges, corporate lives, that's where they are.
Exactly. So start working on to the, reaching out to them via the vending machines near them, get them hooked on it, and then move on to the quick commerce.
Okay, yeah. I think that would be a great thing, but initially I was thinking because my D2C is there, so I was looking for a similar channel. With,
True, true. See, D2C is a brand's house, okay? I'll call it a house because anybody who would like to know more about your brand will come to your D2C website. Whether you are generating a revenue of 1,000 rupees a day or a lakh a day on your
Hmm.
D2C won't matter, but a person who is buying from any other channel comes to your website, they should get the information, they should get the same experience as they get while having the product. So having a D2C website is a no compromise. So that is something which has to be there. Now coming to the other places where the product could fit. See, having a product onto quick commerce or e-marketplaces, yes, that is the vision. But at this moment, you need customers, and the customers are available in your colleges, in the offices, or in the cafes near you. So these are the places which would help you reach out to them quicker. Today, if you visit, any of a cafe, uh, I won't say premium, but a premium affordable cafes, you will have, kombucha bottles over there. And those are not the ones which the cafe makes it. It is of somebody else's brand which is being sold. So I'll tell you an example, a personal example. Couple of weeks back, I went to a cafe in Indiranagar, Bangalore. I ordered a kombucha and I saw, who the manufacturer is. And that is a manufacturer somewhere sitting in Tamil Nadu selling their kombuchas in Bangalore in that cafe. And now, because I have liked their product, I've gone to their website, I've checked who they are, what they do, what all other products they have, and how can I buy them without visiting the cafe. And that is how you acquire the customers. So try figuring out a way where you could, reach out to people in their most available places physically, because this is a drink and They have to like it before they go and search you onto your Blinkits or Instamarts or Amazon.
Yeah, I think it's a great insight. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, just to let you all know, sometimes when Wisey does collaborate with any offline events, we also have opportunities for, beverage or drink brands to actually share their products for tasting with the audience. So that is also one thing that you can explore. And I think we can take up the next question. If anyone has a question, you can ask now. I had a question, Akansha ji. A pretty dumb question, but does
Yes.
anyone know how did matcha became so popular in India? How did this as a concept grow so much, even though some people disagree about the taste? What was their secret?
So if I have to talk about matcha, see, right now if you see trends in India, either people are going crazy about Korean skincare, Korean music, Japanese food, or Japanese lifestyle. So these are the four things which are been very trending in India. So the thing is that it is majorly the drive has come because recently all your OTT content has moved to series and shows
Mm-hmm.
from these countries, and people have
Correct.
started to realize that this is what something we would admire to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about the Japanese world of living, the art of longevity, there are a lot of key messages which we can use it in our day-to-day life, and that is what has helped people understand, and they have started to try to adapt that as a lifestyle. So if I have to talk about matcha, okay, if you add a moringa to your drink and a matcha to your drink, it will be tasting same, but moringa is something very desi Indian and matcha is very Japanese. But both do the same kind of a work.
Okay. Okay. Didn't know that. Okay. So I think there is one more insight here, which I also, discovered through one other very famous. I think Radhika Ghai said this in IIT Delhi. So she said that content is a very good space to be in to right now. Next, in the next 5 years, it won't be as less crowded as it is today. So you should make your own content as well. So they are doing something around, their marketplace for skincare, and they have developed a Korean series around it because their marketplace is around Korean and other international based brands. So I think content is also indigenous content is also very good go to market because that drives culture. And if you can influence the culture or
True,
add to it in some way, then there are some products that are selling very well due to that as well.
very true. So I'll give you a very interesting example over here. So it's not just that the brands who are entering into the market are going for this approach, but if you today go to any of the daily soap channels, there will be at least a brand which has been featured into the whole episode as a sponsored brand for that episode, and it has been promoted to the consumers and the whole audiences of that show. This not only helps the brand with the visibility, but the increase into their revenue.
Correct, correct. I think that is also one strategy, endorsements and maybe part of
True.
become a part of some kind of culture or content that aligns with your brand's philosophies. Place your brand there. So, if we have any more
Correct.
questions right now, we would love to take them up. Otherwise, we can wrap up the session. I hope some people have been here throughout the session and you have been listening very, very, very curiously and very, were very good audience. So, I would love to first of all congratulate you for that. If you have a question, we are open for one more question. Otherwise, we will wrap up the session. Thank you so much, Jonty. And I believe people would love to connect with you offline, Akansha ji. So Akansha ji is part of
Sure.
our group. You can share, maybe Aakanksha ji, if you want, you can share how people can connect with you there. Right.
Yeah.
So if you would love to help some of our founders in personal and they would love to share, get some consultation from you, uh, please do help them. And thank
Yeah.
you so much, everyone, for today's session. I hope it was really helpful for all of you. Do join Visey's founder community. Thank you, Jonty. And we would be hosting many more such sessions that will help our founders get the right guidance, direction, and knowledge from our mentors. Thank you so much. Take care and
Thank
good
you.
night.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aakanksha ji, for taking out the time. Appreciate it. Good
Thank
night,
you.
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.